Got quite a few things to talk about. I usually try to just let them roll off my tongue, man, but I got a little bullet list here this morning. I'm going to preface what we're talking about with BP will be here Tuesday and Wednesday. Quality control audits. BP audits us from a safety standpoint about every 3 years thoroughly. We haven't had a quality control audit from BP in a while. They can come out here and they can sit in the conference room and we can go through the quality management system from top to bottom, and they can ask a bunch of questions, and then they can go on about their rat killing. Or they can come here and we can sit in the conference room and then they say, let's go out on the yard, and they can come on the yard and pick us apart on the yard. How important is this audit to us? There's a $100 million project waiting for us if we pass it, fellas. That's a lot of millions. 100 million. From a quality control standpoint, we got everything in place we need to have in place. I think we'll be fine at the end of the day. But understand that there may be somebody walking up to you asking you questions on Tuesday and Wednesday. And if it's about safety, or if it's about quality, if you've been here any longer than a couple of weeks, you ought to be able to fire off an answer. And it ought to be the correct answer. Just be aware of that. We don't know how it's going to go down. We just know that it is going to go down. So let's get started. A couple of spills took place this week. White paint outside here. All spill over by the containment area. Whose responsibility is it? It's everyone. You walk past it and you saw it, I believe. Every supervisor in here, and if you disagree with me, gives you permission to take care of that event. So if you see it and you don't know how to take care of it, get with somebody, but let's try and get on it as soon as we can. The big problem is not who did it, why. None of that comes into play until after we've got it cleaned up. That's a hard one to live down over here, fellas, with our clients. Big bunch of paint spilled in the middle of the yard simply says, I don't give a shit. Watch how we're doing what we do. When we have some adverse effects from doing it, let's take care of it immediately. Get as many guys as we need. Let's get it cleaned up. If you don't understand the process, get with somebody and we'll guide you through it. But when you see something, and there's a little poster up there in the training room, when you see it, what happens? You own it. You own it. We're all in this together. So you don't have the option of saying, that's not my responsibility. You have to take care of it as an employee. You do a good job with it. We're not broke. We can do a better job with it, and that's what I'm trying to emphasize. The barge out there, the barge activity's been kind of heavy with what's going on up there. Lynn's kind of had to be in other places. Wanted to say good job to everybody. I spoke with Ben about a couple of things to watch. If we're not putting up handrails, and I'd like to say that almost in every case we are, but in some cases we're just going to have to look at it, live with it. Make sure when we place any equipment up there, welding machines from time to time, somebody's going to have to walk all the way around them. Somebody's going to have to check them in. Somebody's going to have to do something to them. The place right on the edge of the barge is not the best place to have it. These are all things, fellas, that when we're doing it, if we've got enough time to think about it, we're going to get it done right. And I think almost in every case, fellas, we got enough time to think about it and do it right. So when we have to be in the putting out a fire mode, I think we do a good job of it. That's not our business model, fellas. I don't care what anybody tells you over here. We have some jobs that come in here that are hot, but it's not every job we do over here that we got to do lightning fast. Make sure we're doing things the right way. We had the people come out and go through the first aid stations yesterday, and I had a card on the first aid station in the break room over on the fabrication about pain aid, and it's another medication now. It's not called pain aid. Let us know. We're going to stock some extra boxes, but also understand that in checking the boxes yesterday, we had a whole box of some kind of cortisone cream or something like that that was put in there less than a month ago and the whole box is gone. So what we see when we go around to the boxes from time to time, paint aids typically come in a box of 250. If 250 are gone in 2 weeks, something's wrong. Somebody's taking handfuls of them and taking them home. That causes us to have to manage the boxes differently. We don't want to do that, but we will. So let us know when something's gone in there, but we're watching it. We know what was put in there yesterday. We know from an OSHA standpoint what should be in there. And we know that if there's a box of something missing a week from now, something went wrong. If you need something, let us know. We'll let you take what you need. If you're dressing a wound, you got at your house. Take what you need out of there. But communicate with us about what is and what isn't in there. And we'll try as soon as we can to get the box stacked back up where you got what you need in there. Versatech's getting hot and heavy on the corner over here, fellas. That's a corner that we hadn't had much activity since we moved the winch guys away from there. So those panels that are being mounted, that's a methanol injection skid. Panels that are being mounted are coming in by pickup truck, and we're doing it right there on the side of the gate in the road. So be aware of that coming around the corner. Kind of just, that's a corner that it doesn't matter if something's going on or not. You need to be in a habit of slowing down and looking to make sure that nothing's approaching you. So by and large, from a safety standpoint, we're right where we've been every Friday of this year. And that's the best place to be in, fellas. BP's not barking at us about a safety audit. Out of 37 companies that we're in line with on IS Net World, probably 32 of them, we've got a grade, a green light, we pass, whatever they want to call it. They all call it something different. But when they pick apart our safety program, in their opinion, it's intact and we're doing the right thing. That's on you guys. It's not on me. We try to run this program. We try to provide you with what you need. We try to correct what needs to be corrected. And it doesn't happen overnight. But what you're going to do out there today is going to determine the impact to us in terms of safety. And typically it centers around you decided to do something a little bit faster. You decided to do something with a tool that wasn't meant to be doing it with. You didn't check the test date on something. You take a chance. And when you take a chance, the possibility of it going right is there, but the possibility of it going wrong is always going to be greater. So continue to do it the way we're doing it, fellas, because it's working for us, right? Again, I'd like to be standing in here with a jacket on in December, having this same conversation, fellas, and it's possible. And it's possible. And when you consider the steel, how many things were in here last Friday that are now on the barge? And it just didn't take a whole lot of time, and we did it with a level of proficiency that most companies can't do. We're good, fellas. But it's not luck. It's paying attention to what you're doing, paying attention to what the guy next to you is doing. Keep up the good work. What y'all got?
Get a lot of flipping over the stone that's on the barge, and up and lower level, different type of rigging, oversized rigging. It went by pretty good. Everybody participated around it. Good job with that.
You got a little discretionary time, and we flip a lot of things over here, fellas. Take a look at some of these components and see if you can formulate a plan on how to do it. It's tough duty to flip these components, to flip components out on the yard. So good job to everybody that was involved in doing that. Good job in jumping right on cleaning up in here as soon as we started moving those components out. Who else?
They ran on the yard, I found a couple of pieces, a couple of steel hanging up in the air around like that.
See something sticking out of the yard, and look, it's quite possible. There was a piece back there by the depressurization station yesterday. It's going to cause a flat on a piece of equipment. It's going to cause us some grief somehow or another. So if you don't mind, just bend over and get it out of the way. Who else?
got a little bit more tables we need to work on, you know, get this back. All the tables made.
More tables. And let me tell you something else about tables, fellas. We talk about working in awkward positions. If you think you're going to have to stoop over for 10 minutes to paint something, go grab a table. It's always easier, and usually it takes longer than 10 minutes to do what you think you're going to do, and that's how we wind up in those positions. It's not going to take me long, but we got enough tables around here. If you got to paint a bunch of shackles or something, put them where it's conducive to not wind up with a sore back or standing up awkwardly and pulling something in your back. Accommodate yourself as you do the work. Work smart. Who else? You got a challenge. I think across the board, you know, what we make happen over here, and we don't hear it enough, you get some acknowledgement every other Friday is appreciated. It's what keeps the money coming in over here, fellas. Meeting the deadlines, working through the frustrations of having to change things. That's the payoff is your paycheck every other week, but it should be a thank you every once in a while. So that's all the engineers in Houston, that's all the project managers, and that's a big project for us. And we always step up to the plate and thank you. Here's my challenge. Participation. We have this meeting, fellas, not to hear what I got to say. Unfortunately, y'all have to listen to it. I like to come in here and hear what y'all have to say. It's where we get our best information from in terms of the safety division. About half of it's what we see and what we think needs to change, and the other half is what we hear from you guys. Try to participate in this meeting. Try to say something when you come in here. We've had good participation for the past couple of years from about 10 of the same people. And all of you got something to say at some point or another. So try to participate in the meeting, fellas. What you got, RJ?
Get aggravated with different things, you know, coming at somebody with the wrong attitude, saying something wrong, somebody taking the wrong way or taking the heart, cause a lot of trouble. They got a lot of people, you know, all that taking that flooded up, so it's kind of blocked and let those person keep riding.
All right, I'm gonna elaborate because a lot of people didn't hear. It's hot and it's real easy to get aggravated. I'd like to tell you I don't get aggravated. I get aggravated every freaking day over here, okay? There's going to be something that aggravates me. Probably it won't take 30 minutes. I blow up a lot. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. But I try to never let you guys know about it. If you come to me and you need something, I'm going to get you what you need. If I treat you wrong because I got a bad attitude, I'm probably going to come back up to you as a man and say, hey, man, it's pretty stupid up here. Try and do the right thing, fellas. It's going to happen to you. It's hot, you're sweating, you're aggravated, and you're going to get pissed off. Do the right thing. Try not to get pissed off. That's something that's hard to do. But try not to get pissed off. But when you do, correct yourself afterwards. It's going to happen to us, and I think we do a good job with that. Make sure we're doing the right thing with staying hydrated out there, fellas. Make sure we're watching the weather. Lightning can strike us from 15 miles away. It's not that we just saw it right there. So continue to watch the weather. I think we're going to be in several more weeks of this. Storms blowing in on us real quickly and not knowing how long they're going to last, and we get back out there as soon as we think it's safe and try to start working again. But it's not a guessing game. Try to substantiate whether or not we need to be out there. Anybody else?
Yeah, like you said, the heat is a big issue, and water. You know, drinking a lot of water, and I'm guilty of this in the past. You know, somebody will walk up and shake the cooler and there's nothing in there, and they'll walk away, and the next guy that walks over there, he goes, fills it up, and the guy that just walked over there and walked away, he goes back over there and gets some water. That's not right. You know, if it's empty, go fill it up.
We actually, man, we toss up a lot of things. A lot of yards operate differently, but most yards have some dynamics that remain the same. We tossing up having a team in the morning that would actually be out there doing what they do right now. They'd be fortunate enough to not have to listen to me, but they'd be filling up ice chests. So by the time we got out there to start doing what we do, all the ice chests would be in place. All the ice chests would be filled by guys that have an understanding of how to do it, competent enough to make it happen. So we've had some discussions about that, and we might look at rolling into something like that. Because really, when it gets hot enough, that same team of guys need to keep an eye on the ice chests all day long. And it's not just riding around looking at ice chests, but sometime probably mid-morning, they go around and they check where all the ice chests are, and they make sure that none need to be filled, and if some need to be filled, they get filled. So we're looking at things, fellas. We still in this mode of owning a bunch of property over there and over there, that after the first of the year, the dynamic's gonna change over here. So I don't even know what this $100 million project is. Don't even really care. John's pretty excited about it. John's words were, if we pass this audit, we're gonna get it. If we get it, we're gonna build it, whatever it is. So it might mean a whole lot more personnel involved in what we're doing over here. So we'll handle it the same way, won't we? Keep an eye on one another. We want to do something for Craig this morning. How many of y'all know Craig Broad, works with the winch division? Craig's in pretty good shape at this point, but just went through a pretty good ordeal. Left here, wound up in the emergency room. They initially thought he had a heat issue, found out he had pneumonia. In being in the hospital and dealing with that, they ran an angiogram on him. He's got some problems with his heart. He seems to be on the mend. He seems to be on the comeback here, but he's lost a lot of time. He's got no more vacation. He's got no more nothing, and who knows when he'll make it back to work. It's a brother in need, so felt like we'd take up some money this morning for him and see if we can help him out. So if anybody's got anything, and when I say anything, if you got change jingling around, we'll take change. Let's try, we're gonna get him a card, and let's try and get a little money for Craig and let him know we're thinking about him out here. Because it might not be Craig. It might be you, it might be me, winding up in a bad shape. And it's nice to know, man, that there's a little help. It's nice to know that there are people out there that don't even know you too well, that are willing to help you out. That's why we're in the greatest country in the world right here, I believe, fellas. So we can do anything for them, fellas. Patrick's gonna pick up the money. Y'all have a good day. Don't sweat the yard. We're gonna be fine. If there's anything that needs to be corrected on the yard, fellas, correct it. Thank you.